Welcome to the 26th episode of Tuning In with Bob Lancer and
Greg Nielsen or Dr. G.
Dr. Greg Nielsen. And, it occurred to me, Greg, that together we have a combined approximately 100 years of application and experience of organics wisdom, if you
I,
combine both of our experience.
I'm hoping to practice it someday. No,
Ah,
no, I'm just kidding.
okay, so this whole program is called Tuning In because it's about shifting into the energy level.
Oh, yeah.
And what does that mean to you to shift into the energy level?
The first thing that comes to mind is that we need to change our belief system from one that we live in a material, fixed, physical world only, where we're guided, not even guided, but conditioned by our upbringing and our five physical senses. We believe them wholeheartedly. Two, actually being more aware and sensitize ourselves to feeling the energy in any given situation, person, place, or thing. And that's a process that organics definitely provides steps to do that. So it's not something you do in one day. I mean, I do see sometimes younger people who are born more recently a little more naturally sensitive to energy. And our science says we everything's energy, but we have to function as an energy person. And that generally takes time and practice.
Yeah, so there are influences in our world beyond what we register with our five physical senses.
Yes.
And just knowing that, trusting that, it kind of reprograms the subconscious a little bit to start to tune into that because we actually have faculties, latent potential faculties for registering finer frequencies that don't show up visibly, or
Hmm.
auditorily, or in our nose that we can sense how we're being affected by a choice on an energy level, which is
Yes.
really like learning how to follow a path of empowerment. If without using that faculty, you can make very logical choices about what you're going to do, but they might drain you
Hmm.
power because you're not working with the conscious awareness of how you're being affected energetically.
Yes. Very, very well put. And that is an experience that people have access to if it is choose to follow certain practices from day to day and then experience it for themselves. So it's not just in a book, not
Mhm.
just somebody told you, but you can actually feel the energy of a room, feel the energy of a person, sense the wisdom of taking a course of action energetically in terms of timing, in
Mhm.
terms of how it might affect you. Are
Mhm.
you ready for it? Are you not ready for it? Do you need to re-energize? Do you need to rest first? Do you need to practice more a quiet time and then an action time? Or action energy is a good timing for you right now for that particular situation?
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
it's also the ability to connect well with the energy state of another person.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
You can
That's
tell if you're
big.
dragging someone down. You can tell if you're lifting someone up. You
Yeah.
can tell if you're maintaining an energy of harmony and concordance between the two of you, or if you're starting
Hmm.
to create some kind of adversarial conflicting energy. If you pick it up on an energy level, you can deal with it before it becomes, what we call macroscopic, before it
Yeah.
becomes on the quote unquote the objective level, because everything that goes on the what we call the physical plane is the result of a process that's been going on an energy level that's been
Hmm.
gradually building up. And so you can sense and make decisions before they, materialize into larger problems.
Yeah. And of course, one of the things that's in organics and is what they call the law of the three. There are three basic forces going on in a relationship dynamically all the time. And if you're aware of those, you're not, first, second, or third force blind.
Yeah, well, let's
Then,
look what they are. It's aware of myself,
yep.
aware of the other person,
Yep.
and aware of the relationship between the two of us
Hmm.
on an energy level.
Yes, and
sensing and feeling what's going on there. It's almost like you're working with music.
yeah, oh yeah, it's very
That's why Isidore had us work, piano training and
yeah,
studying musical theory. And
yep, I still have my piano. It does help. But yeah, you sense the vibration, and when you don't do that, you get some very odd looks from other people. You may even get anger and hostility from another person. But part of it's because you're not in the awareness of those three energies dynamically shifting, and the timing becomes important. Perhaps say nothing is the best course of action or the wisest course of action, or sometimes hint at something, or sometimes wait and see, or maybe you're not even meant to say anything.
Or if
So,
you're developing a big concept, maybe you plant a couple of seeds, come
yeah,
back to a little bit later. That's organic education. Let's talk. So our show is tuning in, how to get
right,
into the energy level and become more functional on the energy level.
right.
And it's the larger kind of umbrella of what we're doing here is to bring forth the teachings of Isidore Friedman that
Yes,
transformed our lives. We wouldn't be talking about energy probably if it wasn't for him. And
right.
all this teaching's organics. So, how would you say organics supports the awakening to the energy level?
Well, first of all, it's not just one idea or one piece of information, it's a body of information that steers you toward practical application and being conscious. Being conscious, it's not just everyday consciousness, which is wonderful, but also paying close attention or a state of wordless awareness. And there's a whole book he has, Organics of Practicing Bare Attention.
I love
And when
that.
you practice that skill, which is an actual skill you can do on a day in, day out basis, not just once in a while, you start shifting gears, so to speak.
Well,
And
let me read I was just thumbing through the wisdom book, which
oh yeah,
you have up there.
I decided we're talking about wisdom. Put that one up there, yeah.
Yeah, and I just came upon this paragraph, which I think is a good lead in to what we want to discuss today, which is
Okay.
applying organics in daily living. And this comes from the chapter in the wisdom book on which is called Percepton.
Oh yeah.
He used a different kind of format for teaching. He kind of made it almost like a science fiction kind
Yeah.
of presentation. So here's the paragraph. Become a skilled craftsman, your mind and body strong tools, your daily events and functions, the necessary materials on which your tools will work. Shape them consciously so that the clear sight of meaning can filter through and make every job and event well done and a collector of light.
Yeah. There's a lot you could say about that.
Yeah, so organics is really about approaching we could call spiritual development and true life success. Um, when you don't go away from daily living,
Right.
daily living is the place where you practice. That's where you develop.
And that's where you generate an evolution of consciousness and fulfillment of the purpose and maybe I don't like the word destiny necessarily, but your function, your true function. In other words, if you're built like a toaster,
Mhm.
but you're trying to make ice cubes, you're going to have some problems.
Yeah, you're gonna get fired.
Exactly. You're going to melt. But, and I think Izzy used to use things like that,
Yeah,
you,
yeah. Well,
you want to,
yeah, but the whole thing about it's not just about collecting ideas and
oh,
theories.
no,
He called
no.
it, what do you call it? Metaphysical metaphysiling and
Mhm,
intellectual intellectualism.
mhm.
It's not about just being able to parrot it out. It's
Yep.
about being in the midst of a situation. And for example, in the midst of that situation, practice looking without thinking. Just actually
Right.
practice in that moment being just perceptive in an
Hmm.
alert state of nonverbal awareness. And the nonverbal awareness is not just you're not talking, but you're not dealing with words in your head. You're fully present in the now. That expands your consciousness. And
Hmm.
it's one of the ways that we expand consciousness into the energy domain.
And what I find when you do that, you can call them intuitive, you can call it things that pop in your mind, subconscious guidance. There's a lot of ways, but things will come to mind that'll help you to navigate the situation that perhaps you hadn't thought of before because you're in the moment. And oh, that would make sense. Let me take a look. And
Well,
then
one
you,
of the things Isidore used to say was that, and this gets maybe into a little bit of more of a mystical realm. He would say that there are higher beings and higher dimensions that are looking for instruments to
hmm.
work through on the earth plane. Did he ever talk that way to you about
Oh
that?
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure. It
And
seemed
so
like
we're
that's
just preparing.
that's part of the process. So as you become more of an energy being, you can sensitize different levels and frequencies in different dimensions, not just the everyday world or people. Yeah.
And that's how you can receive because they're constantly sending down.
Hmm.
So there's like this big master plan at work for the cosmos. And he used to say he's not a Republican, he's not a Democrat, he's a cosmocrat,
Yeah, there you go.
a member of
Yeah.
the cosmic order, working for the cosmic galactic grid, you know?
Yeah, you become a worker in light, a worker in consciousness, a worker in day-to-day activity. And the people, places, and things you attract are precisely the very things, in my view, and what I learned from organics, that you need to work with, interact with, to master, to handle better. Uh,
Well, a part of a big part of organics is the teachings of Wittfan.
oh, yes.
Organics was developed by Isidore Friedman, but Wittfan talks about how and they both call their work sort of natural order wisdom.
Hmm.
It talks about how we are drawn into those experiences and situations that will trigger our weakest points in order for us to deal with that. And if we don't deal with it, it's just going to keep on coming back around and around again until we extricate ourselves from whatever lower unconscious pattern would be taking hold of us.
Of course, when you brought that up, I was starting to chuckle. I'm chuckling to myself because it's so precise until you learn the lesson or lessons, what you just said, you're going to draw similar events, people, places, things, situations. It might be slightly different every time, but it doesn't go away.
Same basic lesson. This is where
Yeah.
we fall apart, you know?
I mean, I'm getting a flood of different things during my life that I didn't really know how to handle. And even though intellectually I might have known what to do, but I didn't do it. And it didn't
Because
go away.
you couldn't control your forces in that situation.
Exactly.
The
I mean, I had
forces
one
of
with I would attract very authoritarian bosses at one point in my life,
Mm.
and instead of fighting, which made it worse, I learned how to go in neutral, take a deep breath, and not identify.
What do you mean by not identify?
In other words,
You're referring to that.
yeah, you're not really in what's the word? You're not going along with the energy automatically. You're creating a space.
With the reaction automatically.
Yeah, it's not an automatic. You may react slightly, but you let that go.
You're watching it, but it's
Hmm.
not capturing you.
Correct.
You don't say,
And
this
when
is how I feel and I have to do something about this. You just
and when
realize it's just like a passing
mhm.
pattern that you get to look at and you can pause and decide, do I go into that? Well, now we're back to the energy level. How does that feel? Where is that leading me? Or I'm not sure. Maybe I just step back and watch and let
Mhm.
this unfold a little bit longer until I have a perception of what to do.
And of course, there's all kinds of layers here. But just for example, I had one boss where I did that. I let it go. Register but don't react was a phrase that you have in organics, and probably a good 90% of letting go. It wasn't 100%, but it was pretty good. And about a half hour later, I got called down to the guy's office, and he apologized to me. I got feedback right away. In fact, he went out of his way after that and said, I really regret that I took that tack with you, and you've actually done a very good job, and I'm going to not do that anymore.
And that gave you another chance to watch your reaction.
Exactly. I went, okay, that works.
Yeah, yeah. Even positive reactions, we
Oh,
want to be careful to not identify with
right.
because we
I,
want to be able to respond perceptively
I,
based on function. I want
Yes.
to be functional in this situation. I want to be aligned with my true purpose here.
I did get overexcited. There's no doubt about it. I
Yeah,
have,
you
I
could
do
have.
have, I have five fire,
Mhm.
but I caught myself later saying, "Wait a minute, that's all talk. Let's see how he
And that,
functions.
now
Let's
we're
see how
now
he."
we're going now we're going into the general semantics dimension
Hmm.
of organics.
Right.
So there's a Wittgenstein dimension, there's a Korzybski dimension who created
Yeah.
general
Yeah.
semantics, and so it's all talk,
Hmm.
recognizing that words are what, a third order abstraction or second
Hmm.
order abstraction, and just because someone's saying something doesn't mean they're going to do something.
And I got to that point later.
Just
I
because
thought
they
about,
say something with a lot of emotion doesn't mean it's true.
yeah.
And as soon as you become emotional in response to a statement, your judgment of the facts has been obfuscated and now
Hmm.
being manipulated by some sort of propaganda in a way.
Yeah. I had to realize it was a wonderful experience, but it doesn't mean it's solved. You have to still be in the moment, pay attention to the energy in the situation, and continue on. And you can't believe everything you hear.
Maintain your peace and poise.
Exactly. So I caught myself on that later, and I maintained the fact that this guy could do that at any time, anywhere, to anyone.
And that's a perfect example of that's where the spiritual growth process is taking place.
Hmm.
These little encounters that we wish weren't happening.
Yep.
But this is the exact classroom in which we see, how am I functioning? How can I improve how I'm functioning?
I mean, I can give a really almost a nonsensical, simple example today. I have a day off today. It's a beautiful day, 75, 80 degrees. I didn't really want to play golf. I call it Zen golf, where you pay attention to the moment. But I wanted to do something, but I didn't really want to push a lot of energy out. So it popped in my mind, you can just rent a cart, and they have a place you can go by cart where nobody's there, and just hit like a small bucket of balls just to warm up. It
Mhm.
was, but it was much more, it was a lot less energy. I saw it as an energy situation. I didn't want to output too much energy because I wanted to kind of keep
Because you
calm.
felt what? Why did you not want to output more?
I
Because
was
of
looking at I was
brain.
looking at the whole day, and I said I have things I want to do, people I want to see. I don't want to expend so much energy here that I can't meet my friend at 1:30 for a cup of tea.
So now you're bringing in something we did a whole show on,
Hmm.
STEM universe.
Right,
You were considering, you were reasoning by coordinates,
right.
space, time, energy, matter, coordinates of the situation. And by taking those into account first, you were
Hmm.
able to create a beautiful balanced plan for the day.
Right. So I didn't do the same old habit where I go get the bucket of balls, go out with a big crowd of people. It gets really noisy. You push a little bit too much, and then you're kind of tired for a half hour afterward. No, I did it very mellow, had a nice cart to drive, took a couple breaks, sat there, and I looked at the whole day more than just, as I said, rather than just the one activity.
Mhm.
So yeah, reasoning by coordinates.
Synthesis, analysis,
Hmm.
synthesis, synth. You
Exactly.
analyze the situation, you put it all together, created a plan.
Hmm.
The adversary in all of this is unconscious habit,
Yeah.
where we just do it because this is the way we've done it. And that's based on kind of a static view of the universe when you
Hmm.
recognize everything is changing all the time, even though you can't observe it with your five physical senses.
Yeah.
In the present moment, it's like, okay, this is what I feel prone to do. But when I consider doing it, if I pay attention, just because I feel prone to do it, it's actually feeling like a drain. So
Hmm.
I can't go with my automatic habitual pattern. I
And
have to
so
pay attention.
And that simple daily example was something, the application of organics. And rather than saying, no, I can't do that, or I'm going to do it the same way I always do it. No, I looked at the whole picture best I could and made adjustments. And even after I made the adjustments, I was ready to make adjustments. You know.
That's what it means to be in the here now.
Hmm.
Was to recognize what does the moment actually call for. And, we can see in many parent-child relationships that becomes such a problem because the parent is relating to the child habitually and not
Mm.
recognizing this kid has changed. This kid has different needs right now. I got to relate to this if I want to have a beautiful fruition of an
Yeah.
outcome here. I've got to pay attention to things as they are.
Hmm.
And that takes the practice of consciousness,
Yes.
of being aware in the moment, the deliberate act of just paying attention internally and what we call externally.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And,
Just
and,
that
and
deliberate act. That's a fundamental practice. That's bare attention in organic.
yeah. And for most people, it is an effort, it's a process in time. You need to stick with it as much as possible till it becomes more of a conscious habit, I guess you could say.
Look, you and I have been practicing this together for 100 years. If we add
Right.
up how much we've been practicing, and I still catch myself slipping into
Oh,
consciousness. I just catch it more now. It's
yeah. And I make the assumption almost that what am I missing?
Oh,
Without putting a negative label on my subconscious, what am I not seeing? It helps me sometimes see better because I go, what am if I pay more attention, even a little bit more, you kind of navigate better.
I might not step on that banana peel that's on the ground.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's an ongoing process, and it's not something you get one-time experience.
No,
And
it's
that's
very
why
humbling, actually.
very humbling. It's an ongoing process. And then, I mean, I tell people I start the day off with a meditation, but meditation is not good enough. That's a good start. You need to meditate nonstop, basically, bear attention.
Well, let's talk about bare attention again. We've done
Yeah.
a whole show on it before. That's
Right.
a key factor. So to me, bare attention in terms of meditation is simply close your eyes and watch what happens,
Yeah, exactly.
but
You
be
need a four.
watchful, be the watcher so that you don't slip into what has been called the dream of involuntary thinking,
I like that. That's great.
right?
Yeah. Oh,
We're
yeah.
literally living in the dreams of whatever you're thinking. It's
Mm.
dreaming. You're out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And to the degree that you're dreaming, you're not present. And you can pretty much trace every single mistake you've ever made to inattentiveness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And of course, this whole thing with the energy follows attention is a master key to organic practice. And of course, it's very, it's a lot in the news. It's a lot in the court cases going on right now. Who is trying to draw your attention? And there's a whole thing about social
Oh,
media.
yes. Well, yeah, Isidore, one of his pet phrases was whatever gets your attention gets you.
Oh, yeah.
And he would say
That,
mastery of attention is the master key.
mhm.
So what is mastery of attention in a practical daily living sense for spiritual development? What does it mean to you? Mastery of
To
attention.
me, it means through self-observation on an ongoing basis, not stopping and starting once in a while. You may, in the beginning, when you start practicing this, you may, which is fine. But over time, it's perpetually there. And you're observing where your attention is going. Now, especially for me, I have to pay attention when I'm tired because my attention can
That's the hardest
sometimes,
time, though.
yeah, that could be the time when I get absorbed in something. And I go, I mean, recently I was a little bit tired and I turned on a documentary with Martha Stewart. And before you know it, about 10 minutes into the documentary, I'm going, I really don't want to be absorbed into this documentary.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
she
was hooked
cool.
like a fish.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
caught myself and I said, okay, take a deep breath. You really don't want to spend an hour and a half watching it.
No, it's like
Martha,
it's like absently eating toxic food,
right. And
right?
so
Being absent.
I had to think about what's the energy of that coming into me. And it's in the evening. I'm tired. I'm going to be going to sleep maybe in an hour or two. Do I really want that in my subconscious?
Of
I
course not.
mean, all the problems with this and this went on, and they
Yeah.
let it go. It's all personal garbage.
Yeah.
But
People go to sleep watching the news.
oh,
They watch it all day long until it seems like what's going on in the boob tube, that's what Isidore used to call it, the boob tube.
yeah, yeah,
Remember?
yeah,
What's
yeah.
going on in the boob tube is like what's going on in their own life. It's like the most important thing for them to deal with. And they feel totally out of control because it's
Hmm.
not them
Hmm.
involved. Whatever you put your attention on grows in power, grows in importance. Because so one of the things we have to practice is paying attention to our attention.
Hmm. Yeah.
What am I paying attention to? What am I giving power to? What am I giving significance to? What I let go of from my attention, I let leave, and then I can focus on, well, what is the most important thing for me to focus on?
Hmm.
What should I give my attention to?
And I
Right?
find for me, starting the day off with that in mind and paying attention to my attention is a real key for me to start the day off, not unconsciously attention to something. And my yesterday's problem, I better call people and tell them, complain about it. What'd they do to me? I was right, they were wrong. No, no. Let go of that.
Right.
Be in the moment. Be aware. Let it go. Energy follows attention. I don't want my attention to go there. That's where my energy is going to go. I'm creating that reality
Hmm.
for myself, recreating it even.
Yeah.
So it's going to make it worse.
It seems like attention, I think that's part of quantum physics, that attention creates
Yes.
reality.
Yeah. They got to the point where they say consciousness changes whatever you're conscious of or
Mhm.
whatever you're focused on in attention.
So Isidore used to say, it's not what we do consciously that gets us into trouble, it's what we're doing unconsciously.
Yes. Hmm.
Right? So it's
And
learning how to be conscious function in each present moment, realize, and I know you had the same challenge. I mean, when we first started studying with Isidore, like I wanted to get there yesterday. I
oh,
was
yeah.
super conscious, totally in control of my forces,
Let's be enlightened.
right, in 10 minutes. And it's like it's a long, long, long-term process. But the nice thing about it is it can be an enjoyable process.
Definitely. Definitely.
The practice of organics, just you're sitting in a red light. Well, let me just practice being aware and non-reactive right now.
Hmm. Right.
Just for the fun of it. Let me just practice that now. Let me, I'm washing the dishes. Let me
Yes.
practice washing the dishes consciously. I'm very careful to notice what my mind is up to. Let me practice bare attention while I'm washing the dishes, right? In any given situation. And then, when you find yourself reacting, you're falling into what Isidore used to call a PPP,
Yeah. Pressure point of the past.
of the past.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why don't you talk a little bit about what that means? Because that's where I got the method to help. But what are
Yeah.
your thoughts on
Well,
PPPs?
another way to say it possibly is just habits that you've had over time that you repeat over and over again.
Emotional,
Yeah, and it has to do with your emotional
like
reaction.
trauma, right?
Yeah, and you get caught in it, or you think it's normal even,
Hmm.
because that's how you've always done it, or felt it, or experienced it. But when you realize the past has a hold on us because of our belief systems that was unconsciously maybe implanted in you, or you drew it to you to learn lessons. Depends how you look at it. But you need to let go of them because some of them have a lot of energetic charge. So he had a methodology, touch and let go, to help discharge some of the energy off a pressure point of the past,
Right.
which
So what would be an example of when a person is experiencing a PPP and needs
they
to
get,
do something about it?
yeah, they get caught up in some kind of a automatic reaction that persists. They become stuck in it.
Like you can't let it, you're angry at someone, can't let it go.
Or you had a bad day and it's not your fault. And I have to get revenge or whatever, or I'm going to tell those people off tomorrow. You start inner talking and you get into this pressure point of the past, which is thinking it's a
Like a
thought emotional.
emotional loop, like
Yeah.
a negative emotional loop.
Yes.
Anger, frustration, despair, feeling
Hmm.
powerless, feeling worthless. Anytime a really powerful emotional reaction is
Yeah.
triggered, and you can't just like laugh it off, let it go, right?
Yeah.
You're under the influence of what is still called PPP.
Pressure point of the past.
Right.
And you're,
So he gave us two. I received two approaches
mhm.
dealing with that. Maybe you can even say three, because one of the approaches is just to be bare attention, just
Yes.
be mindful, just to watch it, just to
Just
go
just
through
notice
the
it.
feeling.
Notice it.
Let it be. Just watch it as long as it's there. Just
Yeah.
observe it. That's one thing,
That's very good. I like that one.
right?
Yeah.
Then there was the PPP where he had us. and he would check with his pendulum how much time I would need to do
Yeah.
it. And for me, it would be a lot. He would
And I
say,
still I still do it to this day. I check the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it would be like, okay, you have to clear out anger,
Yeah.
go into a room, get a big crayon, big marker, get a lot of scratch paper, and
Hmm.
just start expressing your anger
Hmm.
in violent language,
Yeah.
hold back, express it all. It's like taking a poop on the paper, right? And
Yeah.
just keep
That's a
doing
great way
it,
to put it. Yeah. Poop
right?
on the
Just
paper.
keep doing it, and 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15
Yeah.
minutes, maybe. I think I did it sometimes like 45 minutes. He had me doing it.
Wow.
And then after you've written it all out, it's really not nice penmanship and not
No,
nice
no, no,
writing.
no.
It's
You don't
all
want to be nice and neat. No.
then you tear it to shreds,
Hmm. Hmm.
then you take it to the toilet
Yeah. Yeah.
and you set fire to the shreds and let them drop in there. And as
Yeah.
you're doing that, you just go into the feeling of I'm letting all this go, I'm dropping it all. That's a PPP.
Yes. And then just a side note on that, at least for me, I notice I need to kind of take a break afterward and let it settle.
He would say that. He would say at least
Yeah.
15 minutes. Don't talk
Yeah.
to anybody. Definitely don't drive.
Yeah.
You
Don't just rush out the door to do some kind of activity.
Right,
Take a
right.
take a few minutes to
Deep. I used to take deep naps after it.
yes, exactly. That's right. Yeah, you're letting go of an energy belief system vibration
Mhm.
that might have been there for who knows how long.
Now, from my own experience, confessing my own personal experience, that was never enough. It didn't really relieve me of the emotionalism. It didn't really work. I would feel better for a little while.
Yeah.
I would still have another temper tantrum like the next day or something. Now he had another, and I'll talk about the method in a second, but he had a third one, which you mentioned,
Hmm.
just touch and let go.
Right.
So like if I have, let's say, issues with my father,
Hmm.
I might write down the word father, or I might get a photograph of my father,
Hmm.
close my eyes, put my fingers on the image of the word,
Yeah. Yeah.
watch what comes up, then let it go and try to
Hmm.
let go of the feeling, then come back and touch it again. Touch,
Right.
go, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to discharge the energy.
Hmm.
Now, how effective for you, particularly in your deepest emotional issue times, how
Hmm.
effective were those three for you?
They all were highly effective, but it doesn't mean they solve the energy situation. Depends how deep the charge is, how much power it has, how much vitality it has.
Mhm.
Something that might be a long-term uh, conditioning pattern, who knows what goes way back, possibly. It may take a bit of time, but you also need to back it up with being conscious and functionally aware in the moment. So that it doesn't necessarily solve the
Not
problem.
slipping back unnecessarily.
Yeah, it doesn't, but it sometimes gives you a little space. And I found that it helped me to recognize the pattern of the energy faster
Mhm.
for me. And when I catch it faster, I would notice it quicker. And then I could go from there, letting it go, non-identification, do some rhythmic breathing, go into bare attention, and not register deeply and don't overreact.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. For me, it took me many, many years
Oh, yeah.
until I found the method.
Oh, yeah.
The
Okay.
method,
Yeah.
which I have on my website, it's in the description.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that was it was like that was a piece that, with all the study of organics and as essential it is to how I function in daily living and everything I teach and everything I am,
Hmm.
um, that liberated me from the hold of those, negative emotional patterns that I
Yes.
get stuck in, that I used to suffer. It freed me, it gave me a means to getting free from emotional suffering so that I could apply the wisdom more consistently.
And I find that when you apply the organics on a day-to-day basis, things are going to come to you that not necessarily maybe Izzy didn't write it in a book, but there are methods and ways available that are just there for you to discover, to use, to apply to you that'll make a difference.
Yeah.
And it can be small things.
I don't think anybody can ever say the last word on anything.
No, there's always an ongoing process, and the more individuation you have, sometimes it's very precisely for you and other people as well who share it. You write about it, you share it with people, you teach it. give other people opportunities to apply things to discover for themselves what works and what doesn't for them.
Well, you bring up another is sort of essential principle concept in organics, natural order wisdom. Wittmann's teachings are very much surrounding the whole process of what we call individuation,
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
individualization process, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what's your referring for the individualization process? I
Okay.
know I'm dumping a load on you there, but
We're going for it, man.
for a
All right.
resource, we gotta get it out of you. You get
Yeah.
in there,
I would say that
use that rag and get every little drain of wisdom out of you.
we can potentially become our, I don't like to use the word true, authentic might be a good word, our authentic structural self and functional self that we are making, and we're a good toaster making toast. And we don't burn the toast, we don't overcook or undercook. And then we're experiencing something where individuation starts to take place more, more so. You discover things about yourself that are authentic that you need to do, think, behave, practice.
Even if other
And
people don't approve of it, even
right,
if people don't like it, like Jesus said, come out from among them and be ye therefore separate. To
right.
you find your own, like every seed has a
Mhm.
pattern in it. And
There
I
you go.
can't, if I expect bananas to come from an apple seed, I'm going to be frustrated.
There you go.
And we have
And
the capacity and through the energy consciousness to
mhm.
sense and feel our own true pattern that we must follow. If we don't follow it, it's death.
Yeah,
And other people, they don't have any idea of it, and they just think we're being selfish or narcissistic or
mhm.
uncaring about them and their needs.
And you're wrong. You're going down the wrong path.
Yeah.
You're not
Want to go
thoughtful
to
and kind.
hell?
Yeah, you're not, you should be thinking of other people all the time, not yourself.
Conform. My father used to say that all the time. You have to conform,
Mhm. Conform.
but your true power comes from, but it's following your individual path is not rebellious.
No, no, no.
You're
It's
not
very,
rebelling against authority, right?
mm-mm.
You are the authority, and you know what you need to do, and you know if you don't continue that along that path, you literally can die. Like your
Oh,
life
yeah.
force gets cut off.
You
And
can get
sometimes
sick.
people get sick and
Oh,
it's time to realign with
and
who
when
they truly
I,
are and let go of those personality patterns that have been developed, those false
mm,
self-personality patterns. I have to do this. I have to follow my father in his business. I have
yeah.
letting that go and listening to the inner voice.
And you better have a house with two cars or
Three
whatever,
and a half and three and a half children.
Exactly. So you don't follow the standard path the society puts out, the so-called American dream might be some
Yeah,
people call it.
yeah,
But
which
you
is
follow what you need to do because you feel it and you know it and you do it, you feel better.
and that's where your prosperity is going to come from. That's where your support's going to come from. That's
Hmm.
where your opportunities are going to come from. To following that true vibration, waking up to that can take time. One thing I used to do when I first started working with Isidore and I was study Kabbalah and magic and that sort of thing was
Yeah.
each morning, like at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'd wake up and I'd stand inside of a circle. I created a
Oh,
on a piece of canvas,
nice.
stand inside of the circle, and just try to connect with my innermost
Mm,
being level.
yeah.
And that would just charge me up for the whole day.
Yeah. And it's something similar that goes on most mornings for me. I call it meditation, but making an alignment so that things sort of pop in your mind intuitively. This one might be a wise way to go today. You thought you had this plan, but maybe that's not a wise plan energetically in terms of timing and situation overall. Those start to come to you from an intuitive level, I guess you could say,
Energy level.
energy level, higher frequency level.
Mhm.
And of course, then you start experiencing things like joy
Mhm.
and happiness in an energetic way,
Mhm.
wisdom,
And
some
you can help
understanding.
other, and you can support other people,
Yeah.
particularly young children. When my children were very small, I had a background in Montessori, which is,
Oh, I love Montessori.
yeah, which is help finding the child's true path.
Hmm.
support the child along their true individual path instead of trying to make them fit into what you think a responsible person should be.
Yeah, and it was something similar I did with my son. So consequently, he doesn't hate me. He actually feels he's individuating to some degree.
Hmm.
His path is so different than mine, but that's okay. It's
Hmm.
individuation is drastically different. And I didn't try to impose my way on his way.
Yeah, if you depart from the path of your true individuality, you're departing from your health.
Mm.
You're departing from your safety. I mean, parents, who try to push and force their kids to follow some religious ideology or some
Yes.
other kind of conventional ideology, they can be killing their kids and they don't even know it. You
Yeah,
know,
I had a
a lot of
situation that
drugs.
this week I filled in for a colleague of mine for a couple hours over here at a local school because I have a background in education. And we're coming to the end of the school year. And I walked in the room, and this one student comes in who I'd met earlier in the year. I said, "Are you still going to Harvard?" She said, "Well, that's what my parents want to do, but I don't want to do that." And you could see she struggled with it.
Hmm.
She wanted to follow what her individual path was, which is to go to the local university. They had everything she needed, and she didn't have to go to Harvard. She didn't want to go to Harvard, but the pressure, you got to go to Harvard, all this kind of bullshit
Hmm.
where, oh, it's Ivy League and they're the best and, whatever that, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
where the money's going to come from. Everybody
Right.
thinks the money is going to come from some external source.
Yeah.
When you follow your individual path, you're fulfilling your true purpose in the universe, and the universe likes that.
Hmm.
So, you've been referring to the word structure and function. So,
Yeah.
I remember having a conversation with Isidore. I probably quoted this in a previous broadcast of ours, where Isidore said, Bobby, I don't know much, but I know this. Structure, function, order is God.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know. So what is structure, function, order? When you function, everyone has a structure.
Hmm.
Just like a snowflake, we have a particular structure.
Yeah.
When you function in line with your structure, you experience order.
Hmm.
Order in your body, order in your mind, order in your harmonious life. But when you function out of alignment with your structure, you manifest disorder. So the key is, how do I function in line with my structure? The
Hmm.
only way I know is through feeling.
Yeah. You
Have a better
feel,
way? I mean, to me, it's just feeling the congruence.
mhm. You feel the energy alignment. It's hard to put in words, but
Yeah.
it's, uh, it's not a hocus pocus thing. It's not a mystical thing. It's a genuine
Oh, yeah.
vibrational feeling. This feels wise. This feels comfortable in a conscious way.
Hmm.
This feels like I'm on the right path. This is something I'm going to continue to pursue because it feels wise.
And
Uh,
sometimes this feels like I have to do this.
oh yeah, yeah.
Just have to do it. You
There's
know,
something I have to do. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Even if other people are going to shun me and persecute me and tell me I'm going the wrong way or divorce me,
Mm. Oh yeah.
because that's the source.
Hmm.
Following that inner pattern of who you truly are and doing it consciously. And one of the ways to develop the ability to do that is to remember that we live in a dynamic energy universe,
Hmm. Hmm.
that we're
Yeah.
here to pick up the vibrations that are beyond what we see with our physical sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we talked about the law of three. Uh,
Hmm.
one of the things that Isidore harped on in many of his notebooks, that's what we would do. We would go to his apartment, sit at
Hmm.
a little card table, right? Start copying notes from one of his big stacks of spiral notebooks.
Yeah.
We would talk, right? And we would
Right.
copy as much as we could because we wanted to get all of it and
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
all of it, but it was endless amounts. Um, and one of the things that he would repeat would be emotional speech,
Ah.
the danger of
Hmm.
emotional thinking and emotional speaking. Why don't you speak emotionally, well, unemotionally on that for a little while?
Best I can because I get very emotional about
I
this
know it's
topic because
exciting.
it feels good in my heart to discuss it. But yeah, you pay attention to the words and the energy in the words that you say yourself or listen from other people. And you can tell the difference in the amount of emotionalism that could be charged into the words, wanting to convince somebody. of something that doesn't really need convincing.
The more emotional they are, the less convinced they are of what they're saying.
Right. Uh, Telling people off and justifying it, or even telling yourself off or criticizing yourself within your own thinking area.
How could I have done that?
Yeah, just browbeat yourself over something that, well, take it easy. I mean, okay, you're seeing it, now let it go.
Mhm.
You don't have to self-criticize and start swearing to yourself,
Mhm.
about how much. So your
So
emotional,
emotional speech sets us up for delusion,
yeah,
right?
it,
Because it
usually,
clouds the mind.
yep.
It sets the other person up for delusion. Now you have two confused people who can't see straight or think straight in the midst of emotional speech. Um,
And by the way, that
yeah,
on a practical level for me, and I've studied film and I teach film some in the past, and I can't really watch movies that are overly emotional speech. They are kind of a turnoff.
I can
Uh,
understand why.
yeah, because I don't want to go there. I'm putting my attention on something I really don't value.
Yeah, and so one of the detriments of emotional speech is the vast amount of energy that it uses up.
Oh, yeah.
You can go into an emotional diatribe for 5 minutes, and for the rest of the day, you're comatose.
Hmm.
You can't even function. You can't lift your foot off
Right.
the ground
Yeah.
and waste energy. And the more emotionalism, the less clarity.
Hmm.
Less clarity, then what the heck is driving me? How do I know where I'm going here?
Yeah. And then you can
Confusion.
start
Emotional
you can
confusion.
make you can do things that are not going to be wise under
Because
that.
you can't even find the wise path. You can't find your individual path in that.
And you can make quote mistakes that make it worse
Yes.
instead of just backing off and
Hmm.
recognizing you're in that emotional state. We've discussed it before.
Hmm.
And do your rhythmic breathing, do your relaxation, do your touch and let go, do you whatever functional skill to help you
Settle down.
let it cool down. Yeah, exactly.
Then you can see clearly what's going on. One of the things that emotional speech, when we get very emotional, we're talking about something very emotional, people say, "Yeah, but I like it." It's
Mm,
like, well, it's superficially entertaining, but if you get some clarity, you'll see it's nowhere near worth the cost.
yeah, yeah.
Pleasurable as it might be to, get really upset about something, and trigger off that way. But it wastes a tremendous amount of energy.
Oh, yeah.
It robs us of clarity, and it masquerades as importance,
Ah, yeah.
right? Like, oh, this is the most important. I got to tell that guy off. I got to deal with that situation.
Yeah, I'm doing the right
Well,
thing.
something you don't need to do right now.
They deserve it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Someone's got to
masquerade as
someone's
something
got to set them straight.
urgent, right?
Yeah.
The same thing with emotional thinking, like worrying, catastrophizing.
Hmm.
Oh, we're doomed.
Yeah.
When you start going into that state, just realize the degree to which there's emotion, there's a lack of clarity. There's an inverse ratio between emotionalism and clarity of what's really going on, so you can make a good, sound decision of what to do with your attention, time, and energy.
Yeah. That's one reason I like the functional skill. Sometimes just sleep on it. Let it go. Let it go and just sleep on it
Mhm, mhm.
and see how you see it the next day. There's something that's an important decision possibly that you're getting too heated up about, too
So
urgent.
we also have in organics, we have the law of the breathing spiral.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So talk just a minute. We have a little bit more time about
Oh
the spiral pattern and how it relates to conscious daily living. What is
yeah.
the
One thing that stood out for me was what is he called the pulse recurrent frequency,
the
which is
pulse
another pulse
recurrent?
recurrent frequency,
Beautiful.
a turn of the spiral,
Hmm.
and something comes back around.
Hmm.
And how are you going to handle it this time? So the breathing spiral, it could be lessons that you're learning, but also can be on the other side, a spiral of change in consciousness and individuation, where your ability to be in bare attention is increased uh, some degree, and it becomes more natural and more regular, more consistent. So yeah, so the breathing spiral is a good, the whole universe works on a spiral. I mean,
Hmm.
whatever you point to, it's pretty much part of a spiral.
Hmm. That's right.
So
That's right. Even
yeah,
lightning they have found is a spiral.
yeah.
And so our life goes, it goes up. Isidore used to say it goes up and down.
Hmm.
If you handle the ups and downs with peace and poise,
Hmm.
consciousness, in time, your lowest low will be higher than your highest high used to be.
Oh, I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like in
Yeah.
business, okay, we're doing well, we're making some, oh, now it's starting to level off a little bit. Oh, now it's going down. We're getting some challenge, losing some clients. That's part of the spiral. You handle
Yeah.
it well, then
Yeah.
it bottoms out, and then
Hmm.
you find the opportunity to go up to an even higher level than you were before.
Hmm.
We don't expect it to be a straight line trajectory. We know that it's going to go up and
Hmm.
down, but it goes up and down, around and around into the higher
Yeah.
levels, and it continues. So we kind of have an orientation to the pattern of events, the pattern of a growth cycle in our life. You're in
Hmm.
a relationship. Oh, we're getting along, beautiful. Oh, now there's a little tension, a little strife. Okay, let's deal with it consciously. Then it bottoms out a little bit, and then comes an opportunity to get even closer together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
works along the spiral.
Everything works along the spiral. And so you don't have to over-identify with the so-called lows or the so-called highs because they're continuously shifting, changing, and spiraling. And I love what you said before about your highest high becomes different.
Yeah, the lowest low is higher than your highest high used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a natural order process. So, foundation of organics.
Hmm. I recognize that he did a lot of triangles in his notebooks.
Yes, he did. Peak poise power with the
Yeah.
eye of awareness in the
Yeah.
very center.
That's a
That's
good
how
one.
you master the breathing spiral.
Yeah.
Well, Greg,
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
here we are,
Wow.
closing episode 23,
Sounds good. Sounds
Organics
great.
Applied to Daily Living. Always great to catch up with you. You seem to be a more conscious being every time we interact.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I knew that would get
No,
you. I knew
I'm
at an
just
energy
joking.
level that would get you.
I feel better. I'm continually, my highest high is getting higher and my lowest low is not getting too low.
It's getting higher too. All right, my
Anyway,
friend. So until
enjoy
next,
the rest of your
any
day.
words, any words of wisdom you want to leave our listeners and viewers with?
I just say the same, pretty much the same thing every time. Listen to what and what we've talked about. Read what Isidore Friedman wrote and apply some of it. Pick something, choose something. What are you drawn to, and give it a go.
And even if, in the description below, you'll see links to his books and
Oh yeah,
you can
yeah,
get from Amazon. But even just listening to the show,
yeah.
taking it in like seeds,
Yep.
don't put pressure on yourself.
No, no, no.
Just take it in, and it's going to naturally blossom into application,
Hmm.
illumination, and liberation.
Yeah, you will naturally feel, oh, I'm going to try that today.
Right.
Now,
It'll just start
it,
to sink in.
and you'll go,
The
wow,
root.
I see that. I can see a difference. I'll persist with that maybe. Yeah, okay. Hmm.
Very nice.
All right.
My friend,
Uh,
until next time,
Until next time, adios, amigo.
adios, amigo.
Be safe.
You too. We're all safe.
That's true.